Hey everyone, the Chief here. I'm going to do a Hall of Fame hot sauce review. And I'm not a marijuana smoker, although I've seen the films starring this personality many times over. My hot sauce recommendation is the Cheech. There's two other varieties aside from Chipotle. He offers a mango version and also a garlic version. I've not tried the garlic. The mango really wasn't for me, but the Cheech Chipotle is the fire. So here is the man in question, holding bundles of freshly harvested pepper fruits. The Smokin Chipotle hot sauce used to be offered by my local specialty grocery product alcohol store. We have large warehouse-sized liquor stores in my city, and it's always pleasurable to walk around in the halls and see what's new and select maybe a drink. And they used to offer a greater range of products. The trouble was, I read online that they were bought out by an international firm, and they reduced their stock of wonderful world hot sauces. Now they have kind of an okay variety, especially at the bigger locations, but they don't offer the Cheech. So when I buy hot sauce there, I usually get Sontava, which is a Belizean hot sauce. And I really love the fresh carrot-based Belizean hot sauces. They are probably my go-to sauces and, yeah, my favorite for general snacking and daily edibility. So vibrant, orange, fresh carrot. Just those carrot-based sauces are really fantastic. However, this is a different animal altogether, a completely different breed. I purchased it recently on a trip, on a hiking trip in another state. There was a hot sauce shop dedicated only to fine specialty fermented and hot sauce types of goods. And so I picked up 2 bottles. I couldn't resist. And the other one's all gone, and then this one is almost gone. So I've reserved this bit here to offer up a review and a recommendation. Well, the Cheech. Let me sing its praises for you. I'll first read what's on the side of the bottle. It says that it mashes jalapeno, cayenne, Tabasco, and the fiery habanero peppers, adding in molasses, vinegar, and rum. Okay, I'm going to move around now to the ingredients list and see what else we can find. Carrots as the base, as the major player, onions, those peppers we were mentioning, lime juice, papaya, those are 2 separate products, passion fruit juice, garlic, salt, sweet basil, some natural smoke flavor, and the rum in the last bottle, well, and in this one too, was a little more prevalent than I remembered. It's been years since I could buy this locally, and it was in my Amazon wish list for a long time. I almost bought it lots of times, but it would have been close to, I think, 20 bucks for 1 bottle. I mean, well over $10, just not really quite worth it for that. And when I had it in my sights, it's $7, so I got 2 bottles for the price of, well, less than the price of 1 bottle delivered from the internet. And it's fantastic stuff. I really can't recommend it any higher. Well, Cheech here, he's a musician, he's a famous actor, and he's been in some roles recently on television. He was made, he skyrocketed to superstardom in the period when he and Chong were making their Cheech and Chong comedy movies. And in high school, I was a big fan. I'm still a big fan. I revisited one of their films maybe a couple months ago, and it had been decades since I watched one of them, and they've aged well. It's a unique brand of humor. It's a real cultural gem and completely worthwhile. Well, let's move right on forward into it. I've got my favorite knife. Okay, you can see that it's mildly serrated here on the end, just on the end of the blade. It's not sharp, but kind of a butter knife. Some nice serrations. Let's see if we can get some noise out of them. Nah. And then what makes it my favorite knife is this. I may have displayed it in a video in the past, but I like this design there on the handle, the base of the handle. It's elegant. It's kind of a very modern, to my sensibilities, modern aesthetic. And then this strange design. I don't know if it's the mark of the company or the crafter, whatever it is, it's unique and interesting. And you see these slashes of lines and threes on both sides. And then here another line at the neckline. So a beautiful butter knife. And I've used it many, many occasions. Not only just to butter my bread, I've used it for every possible thing you can imagine that's food related. Alright, now, since I have eaten 2 bottles of this stuff over the last couple months, it's not like it's going to be a brand new experience for me, but I'm going to try to clear my mind. Maybe, here we go. And try to act as if I've never experienced it before. This is way up front. The aroma is, it's got a sparkling characteristic. It's high and forward in the nostril cavity. Flattening out around the edges and wrapping back around my nasal palate with a kind of a tart, acidic, but also very nuanced, savory base note. But high and forward in the nostrils, there is definitely rum mingling with that basil. Evaluating it like this makes me wish I would have done the review before I cracked into bottle 1 and bottle 2, because I plunged right in knowing that I had experienced the product before, and I missed out on some of this subtlety. It's fantastic. It's like midline, baseline. Its baseline is like midline. There's a great swirling mix of flavors, but it's like mid palate and higher, just all the way up into the crown. Alright, let's see if we can get a drop on our knife. Color wise, there's evidence of some of the ingredients there on the inside. Opposite Sontava and some of the other Belizean sauces I've had, this doesn't have a vibrancy and a strong orange color. It's definitely a little dingier, a little bit more on the darker side of the orange spectrum. Certainly an amber color there around the fringes. And time for that knife hit. The retrohale is revealing some of those nuances from the aroma, the sniff test. The spicing, the peppers are very upfront, but I've poured heavily from this bottle, and it really can, your palate can withstand a healthy, well, my palate at least can withstand a healthy dose on bread or on a burrito or something. It's really fantastic, but the flavor is pretty in your face. So it may not be for everyone, especially if you're used to vinegar-based sauces, or if you really do prefer vinegar-based sauces, or the carrot-based sauces that are quite mild. The carrot characteristics aren't really very pronounced in this, but it is a Hall of Famer for me. Like, I'm going to try to savor this last amount. Maybe I'll just tuck it into the fridge and try to forget about it for a month or two and then just rediscover it. It dances on the palate, but it's definitely got some intensity, some depth of flavor, and it does take over your palate with a very intense flavor. So if you're up for an experimental blast and you have access to the Cheech, I highly recommend it. Happy dining.